wanted, like, we would teach them, may I go to the bathroom? And this is a hard sentence for a 4-year-old who's never spoken English. So it was more like, hey, I'm in the bathroom, you know. So I taught them, I'm like, this is toilet, right? In sign language, this is a T, so this is toilet. And we learned that a long, long time ago. So I'm like, toilet. So just shake your hand at me like I want to go to the toilet. And I'll know, but you have to try to say the English. And then again, I would use it to ask them, like, do you want to go to the toilet? So if they didn't understand me in English, they'd know this is what she's trying to communicate with me. And I would use Chinese to teach them these things and then immediately drop the Chinese off, and we would just use sign language and very simple English. And within 3 months, the kids can understand 100% of classroom English. So
Yeah, that helps a lot. I think English is way, easier than sign language, maybe for them.
well, I mean, no, it's just like they just felt comfortable to talk to me because they didn't have to open their mouth. So they would tell me things like I want to play. This is play,
Mm-hmm.
and they would be like,
Oh.
let's play, but they couldn't say it. So they'd be like, I'm like, what? Because if they spoke Chinese, the thing is, like, I don't want to tell them you can't speak your language. What I tell them is you can't speak your language while we're learning English. Before class, you can talk to me in Chinese. After class, we can talk Chinese. In the class, if you have some problem or serious issues, like, again, my first 2 weeks of teaching is just teaching them classroom procedures. Like, if you want to speak Chinese in the class, you have to raise your hand and say, teacher, may I speak Chinese? And we have, may I go to the bathroom? Right? May I fan pee? May I, whatever. You just got to put may I in front of it. That's the procedure. And if you follow the procedure, then you're allowed to do what you need to do. But we're not going to be screaming out Chinese. 啊，老师，我也知道，我也有一个. Like, no, that's not important information. That is just random child bullshit. You keep that to yourself. You're disrupting me. So,
That's a great technique to make them speak in English.
because I saw a lot of teachers, they would like take away points, they would punish them, they'd get angry at them. Don't speak Chinese. And I'm like, that's really shitty. Like, that's my native language and you're taking it away from me. That's my only form of communication with you. So what you're saying when you say don't speak your native language is don't communicate with me. And I'm like, that doesn't seem right. So I need to give them tools. If you can't speak Chinese, sign language, try to speak English, do your best, so, and it worked
Well,
out.
at that time, then, like, how many pupils in one classroom for you when you were
8,
teaching?
8,
8. Oh, okay. Well,
yes, because I'm
8 is
very,
not a lot. Yeah, it
mhm.
helps.
2 teachers, 8 students, 3
Yes,
times a week, 1 hour.
Assistant teacher, yeah, right? One
No,
assistant Chinese.
2 teachers.
2
2,
foreign teachers for
uh,
8 kids.
Wow, can you
um,
make a profit from that?
baby, I
8?
was making like 60,000 a month. What are you talking about profit? I was doing all right.
Wow.
What do you think Billy's just like, I'm going to Hong Kong for the weekend. I'm going to do this. I'm going to buy that. Like, he's rolling
Wow.
in it. As long as you're a single teacher doing it, or like a team of like 3 or 4 people, it's fine. When you branch out to 6 or 7, you lose your profits. Profits are gone. Um, yeah. No, the reason I taught like that was, again, because after teaching in so many different situations, I found that that was the perfect thing. And the reason I say it's teacher and not assistant teacher is because I didn't want one teacher to feel like they weren't a teacher, like you're less than the other teacher. So what happens is the lead teacher sits in front and the other teacher sits with the students in the half circle, and they become the best student. So I can be like, oh, look at Wesley. Wesley's sitting nicely. Let's give Wesley a point. Good job, Wesley. And all the kids beside him are like, I want a point. I'm going to sit nicely like Wesley. So the teacher becomes the student in the class for the first part. And then the second part of class, they swap roles, and then we individualize. So we separate them into groups of two, groups of 2, basically. And the lead teacher now goes around from small groups helping, and the other teacher will teach more of the lessons. So it's kind of like a full day of kindergarten, but in 1 hour. Like, I stuff everything in 1 hour. We don't do 5 words per lesson. We start with room objects, emotions, verbs, like body verbs, move, stand up, wiggle, sit down, turn around, jump. We do their names, so that's spelling and phonics, days of the week, weather, animals, and that's just in the first 15 minutes. All of that in 15 minutes. And we do that every day, though, and we do that every day for 3 months. So every day after 3 months, if you've heard how's the weather, how's the weather, how's the weather, how's the weather, like it gets in there pretty deep, so they don't forget things. The way that I explained it to parents was, it took me years for this, guys. This is my magnum opus of explaining to parents. It's like a hamburger. The books and the way that you learned English was like this. They gave you a piece of bread for a month. The next month they gave you some lettuce. The next month they gave you a tomato, and then you ate them all together and you were like, okay, that's food. Then the next month they gave you some meat, they gave you some ketchup, they gave you another bread, and you ate it and you did okay. And then they asked you, did you like the hamburger? And you're like, what hamburger? I had bread, I had lettuce, I had vegetables. What freaking hamburger? Like, no, I gave you a hamburger. Why don't you understand it's a hamburger? And you're like, well, it wasn't a hamburger. It was just a piece of lettuce. What is this? So what I do is I take all the content from the textbook, and instead of piecing it out piece by piece so that you forget what happens in the other chapters, and it's not connected, right? If you're learning a chapter about how's the weather, you're not talking about colors and numbers anymore. So you've already forgotten that if you're not using it. So I connect it all together. And what I do is I make a little hamburger. On the first class, I take everything from every chapter of the book and put it in one small little thing. And then the next class, it gets bigger. And the next class, it gets bigger. And so by the end of the class, you're eating every day a hamburger, and you know exactly what English is, and you remember everything from the book after 6 months. That's the difference. It looks the same on the outside. We're still playing games. We're still singing songs. You know, you still got the foreign teacher up front being all happy and stuff. It looks like other English teaching classes, but my classes were the best. I am the best dang English teacher in China for children that you will ever meet. Retired. Too tired.
So retired from the parents because you are sick of the parents.
Well, I'm sick of not having people that care about it. Like, I don't want to beg you to work. If I'm going to pay you 10,000 RMB a month, I want you to care about your job and children. I want you to be as excited about this as I am. I don't want to be your boss. I want to be your partner in building a better future for the world. I'm sorry if I have ideals. Like, if you come to work with like, well, gotta go to work today, I don't want you on my team. And I didn't have a choice. I had to pick whoever was around me to build a team out of, and it was not good. But when me and Billy met and got together, that was the universe in a happy moment. Like, the two of us, we produced so much, and we did so much good for those kids. Because we both loved kids, and we both love helping people, and we both don't care about money or time. We both get excited and deeply hurt, you know, when we try to help people and it doesn't work. We're like, it's my fault. I didn't teach a good lesson. Not like, those kids are stupid kids. Like, you know, we always wanted to be better. And the two of us together, just, again, it was amazing. But now I don't care anymore. And now he's tired. Andy, good.
But Billy's gonna still running the school for a couple of years.
I don't know. I know he's kind of in the middle of, like, I don't know what to do with life kind of thing. He never had a job before me. I was his first boss. He studied like mechanics for cars or something in college. So like he did go to work during COVID or after COVID, I think, for like a coffee shop or something. Because I told him, he said, Brandy, I noticed that some of your boyfriends didn't have jobs and how angry you felt with them. So I thought, if I didn't have a job, maybe my wife would be angry. So I just took some random job so she wouldn't be mad at me. I'm like, very good, Billy. You learned. So he's a good guy.
But it feels like they've been doing this for decades. They are the experts, and it's profitable. But what's the opinion from his wife about this? She's not satisfied with this. You don't know? Okay.
I don't want to go there. I do know, but I don't want to know because as my friends, I don't want to get involved in their relationship. And I don't necessarily. I like her and I like him. I don't necessarily like them together. I don't. But I also can't not like it because it's just like it is. Like if they're happy and they've worked it out, more power to them. But I see a lot of problems that make me sad, so I try not to think or do anything about it. And part of it is the teaching. She is a teacher as well. He is a teacher, but one of the teachers I trained, one of them I didn't. So guess which one I like teaching wise. I don't know. He could. My dream was always to have a husband that would support me with the teaching business and be a great teacher with me and the two of us. He would manage the money and the parents. I would manage the curriculum and the kids. The two of us could make 50, 60,000 RMB a month and live happily ever after, taking vacations once a year to America, going to his hometown during the holidays, like letting his grandma come live in our big 4-story house when she got too old to walk around. Like I had adopting a baby. I had dreams and plans, and it was supposed to work like that, and it did not. It very
And
much did not.
one is from the partner, another one is the ex the ex-husband. They ruined the business.
Yep. And then I tried again with Henry.
Yeah, but that comes the the pandemic.
No, no, no. After the pandemic, is when I got together with Henry, a guy from Beijing. But he just too dumb, too slow. He was unable to do anything of the businesses I was running, and so I just stopped. I was like,
Really?
yeah. I was like, I just need to be independent. I need to make my own money. Voice acting, I can control my own schedule. I can work when I want. I don't have to worry about a team. I don't have to build a school. I don't have to change the world. I don't have to talk to parents. All I have to do is put up with clients. And every time I get mad at a client, I just go, are you paying enough to be this stupid? No? Okay, bye bye. Yes? No problem, sir. I'll do the work. Apple, 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 whatever you want, honey. It's all yours. My voice is yours to command.
So if it's like you use it to teach the kids and do the voice acting as a what do we say s-
Yeah,
side
Wesley,
hustling? Should we say
I
head?
used to work so freaking hard, Wesley. I
Mhm.
had a school and I managed it and I did
Mhm.
most of everything in it because, again, the teachers didn't really care that much. And then on the weekends, when I had time off, I would go to Guangzhou and work for 6 hours and make a bunch of side hustle money,
Mhm.
right? And then I had an online business. So in the daytime, I was working on my online book business. In the evenings and afternoons, I was teaching and working at school. At nighttime, I had a physical shop, which I would go and visit and try to help that partner and that part of the business to work, which didn't. And on the weekends, my free time was work. What are your hobbies? Work. What do you mean hobbies? What are hobbies? I incorporated everything I loved into my job. I love playing games. Guess what? I play games in my class, right? And anything I did was always related to my work. Everything, everything. I worked so hard, Wesley. I made so much money and lost everything and lost all of it and lost people and friendships and everything. Lost it all. Lost. Gone. Pew.
Damn. Hope that
Oh,
I have your energy.
sorry about
I
that.
know. When I when I'm focused on something, you guys,
Wow. You've been through a
crazy,
lot.
Brandy. I am so lazy right now, and I hate myself that my body's getting older and doesn't have like the again. When I was 30, this was what 6 years ago. When I was 35, I was like kicking it, man. I was like, I was, and then when I was 20 and I had extra energy, I would go to the bar from 11 p.m. till 5 a.m. Get drunk, get wasted, play guitar, find a bunch of random hotties, bring them home, do what I wanted, and then go back and do it all again the next day, every day. I was
Damn.
crazy. I was crazy, y'all.
Where's the then time branding? But I still feel your energy because somehow you do live for like 10 hours a day or something,
Let's go,
singing, doing voice acting, chatting, like remembering different friends from here, from there. So say hi to them all the time. So wow, that's crazy.
You got so much energy. Yeah, still, you got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
but it's like having a super big bomb, but you can't ever target anything. Like you can explode, but you can't blow anything up. You know, like like not being able to focus and target things anymore. Again, losing my husband wasn't about losing my husband. It was about losing my dream of that beautiful future I just told you. Losing my business, you know, like not having, like my goal was to change the world through education. Now that I don't give a crap about that, like I am so lost and depressed. And I know why I'm depressed. It's because I don't have a goal and a focus. And I feel so guilty because now I've met a great man who will be my partner in literally anything I want to do, but I don't want to do anything.
Oh. So
Now I
yeah,
just
that's the
want
topic
to work
we're
hard.
trying to figure out the options, the future thing. But at least you're now out of the, should we say, yeah, I mean last year was the down of the,
Yeah,
how to describe that?
the low point.
The low point. Okay, yeah.
Low
We're through
point.
the bottom of the bottom, the low of the lows. Last year was pretty bad.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break, you guys. I
Yeah,
like your
you
Kit
should do
Kat.
something like this.
Tie,
Yeah, we learned something new. So tomorrow when we're in the
You
group,
learn something new, yeah.
okay, wish you success.
Like this, going to his bathroom. This.
Yeah. The thing is, Brandy has been doing live ever since last year. And she's one of the first live streamers I once talked to, and since then we became very good friends, and we even have a group. We chat, we play games online, so somehow, and occasionally she's gonna throw up some parties, but most of the members they get a job in the nearby city. Like some of them from Shenzhen, some of them from Guangzhou. So basically, they get together quite often. But I'm in the north, and
Where are you
yeah,
from, by the way?
my hometown's in Jiangxi, but now I'm in Tianjin.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I've been to Nanchang,
Okay, great. And
and I know Huangshi, Ezhou,
Huangshi.
Huangshi. Yeah.
Oh, no,
Oh,
Huangshi
Huangshi. No, no,
是
no. It's in
湖北。
Hubei province.
Yeah.
There's another town, like, I forgot, but close to Nanchang. But it takes us 1 hour to get to Nanchang because I studied Chinese there.
What?
Yeah,
So when was that?
1 year, like 语科, 少数民族的
Oh,
语
okay.
科。
Oh, yeah, you guys have
Yeah,
this. Oh, 这
yeah.
个我不知道哎。
南昌工程学院，南昌
南昌工程学院。Oh, I
对，
heard
南
about
昌
that.
工程学院。Yes,
Okay.
that's why I know a little bit, just for 1 year.
Wait,
Oh my
wait.
gosh,
So,
Nanchang has rain every day, every damn day it rains a lot.
yeah, I
I was
know.
tired of that.
It's
I was tired of that.
yeah, it's not easy living there. You know, like I'm from a small village in Jiangxi in the mountainous area. So the thing is, when we were at the second year of school, primary school, it's okay because we have one teacher, only one teacher with like 20 students in a small village. But for the third year, I have to go to a larger village because only there will be the complete primary school. We say 完全小学 because they have from grade 1 to grade 6. So, but the thing is, I had to climb over a small mountain to get there. So every year it was like 3-4公里吧, 3 kilometers, like it's a round trip. So that's when I do feel you because it rains so much, and at that time we're in the poor condition and
And I'm tired of 臭豆腐.
臭豆腐. Okay,
臭豆腐. Every
yeah.
years is 臭豆腐
So
in Nanchang.
so it's 山路. We say, oh hey Yama. So 每天我们走山路. Brandy, what's the proper
I
saying
used
for
to
山路?
go hiking in Nanchang. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Other
but
than that, everything is nice.
yeah, but when it rains too much, 山路就会变得很泥泞. Slushy? Can we say that? Slushy.
Slushy? What do you mean?
Slushy 哦，slushy 应该是指那个雪融化掉之后那个 泥浆路那种路。但是我们的走山路也不太好，因为下雨下太多，经常就是到处
对，
就是走得很脏的。So that was the childhood, but later on things
那个
changed
时
so
候
fast.
没有那个高铁、地铁都没有。
我们在村里连车都没有，就是连通车的都没有，所以最开始是他们是先骑自行车，后面像我哥哥他们就买了那个摩托车嘛，然后现在才买了汽车，所以慢慢哇变化真的很快，30年就
对，
就变了。But
35
initially that
年的
was
变化很大。
well, so you have the first year in one college, then
And then I
then
went to Wuhan for
武汉
study. Yeah.
So 预科和本科可以不在同一个学校是吗？
对，
哦，I see。然后我是在天大，但是我们那儿也有很多少数民族的学生，然后有的是来自于西藏，有的来自于新疆。然后I heard that some of them they have the so-called 预科，预科
yeah.
pre
We just learned some, Chinese, like, yeah. And
When
then
did you know
I
that?
didn't know any English at that time in 2014.
Nice. Wow. Good job.
I
So
started
she has to
learning
take
English since 2018
let me
Nice.
because
see.
of my major, computer science.
So Brandy, do we have something like this? 预科. So she
Yeah,
has to
预科.
spend one whole year to learn
Yeah.
from the language thing, the English and
It's
both
like,
Chinese English
waste of
and
money and
terminology.
time. 预科. For me, it's like waste of my time.
I know that we have something like that, but I don't know what it's called in English because I don't have any experience with it. I know that like
Because the tuition was so high and then we didn't learn much.
oh nice. No, it's something like again like in America if you're going to study, they'll put you in a class
Language school.
like a language class. Yeah. I actually taught at one of those, and it was miserable to be the teacher there because nobody like I was teaching at one of those like we're about to go overseas and study, but we failed real English classes, so we need other English classes to help us. So they were like the worst of the worst students. They didn't want to be there. Their rich parents were like, we're gonna send them abroad anyways. It didn't really matter to them. It was just like literally 80% of the students slept or didn't come to class, and the ones that did were like so hardworking, and it was always the girls. The girls were like, "Oh my God, teacher, I'm so happy that you're here. Let me ask you 1,000 questions." I'm like, "Oh God," but like the guys were like sleeping and picking their butts and like doing all kind of stuff in class. They were crazy. It was a wild experience for 6 months of my life.
Only rich parents' children could go to kind of language school, I think, in US. Other than that, everyone like learn and pass the exam in their own country.
Yeah.
They
No,
don't
this was in China. This was rich parents in China that their kids had just been, if you don't spend time with your children, they end up being rotten and spoiled. Yesterday, one of my friends, Chinese friends, is just now starting his journey to become a teacher. And he said, "Can you give me some advice to convince the parent that I'm a teacher?" I said, "Well, there's either they're going to believe you or not, but the thing to remember is you have to agree with the parent and never blame them, even though it's almost 99.9% their fault. Everything that's wrong with everybody in life, including me, you, and Wesley, is our parents' fault. Like their poor choices brought us to our childhood trauma. Our childhood trauma shaped us into the people we are today. The reason you didn't study well enough was not because your mom didn't say study well enough. It's because of all the other crap, pressures and the this and the that." I'm like, oh. But you can't tell that to parents. All you have to do is smile and nod and go, "I'm a great teacher and I care about your child very much and I'll help them on their learning journey." Like every step I try to help them, I know the mom's going to be, you have to fight the parents every step of the way, but that's okay. I'll do my best until I can't anymore. All right, my loves. We have two options. One is I can sit on stage and mute myself, and you guys can continue to happily chat.
No,
You can
go ahead.
He was talking about
And
you guys. How did you know each other? And then
Mhm.
you were talking about her, yeah, right?
Hello, Yama.
Hi, Yama.
Hello, Yama.
Are you working? This looks like Yama in a professional environment.
Yama is businesswoman.
Yeah, look at her.
She's the CEO, I think, of that agency.
Wow, look at the office.
Yeah, I'm at the OL.
I'm in office.
OL.
OL. Yes, I'm trying to sell my business.
Apartment.
Yeah.
You're doing agency, right? Like selling an apartment or something.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. My friend has a building. I just helped her with her some work last
Wow.
year.
Ooh,
A
it has a
building.
building?
A building?
Yeah, like shopping mall. They just trying to rent to
Wow.
people.
Okay.
So I know a little bit, just a little bit. I just help
Yeah.
her.
Brandy, we poor guys, we have nothing. They have some business
No,
running.
it's not mine. It's one of my friends.
Oh, I know guys who own shopping malls, Wesley. I don't take. Not all the losers I date are broke. I date rich losers too. Like,
Oh, do you have a lot of story, Brandy?
18 years worth of stories, my loves.
Like to know that last year, I mean, the whole year round, yeah, one of the topic was some X, X, A, B, C, D. So we were trying to
We have
write a book about that.
Wesley's like, wait a minute, was that in 2000? Like, wait, who came before? How long? Who? There's a new one. You have a new X. Where did this one come from?
I was trying to take notes for all those kind of things.
High school until today, a timeline of my ex-boyfriends for Wesley to like write down and take notes. Like, okay, I understand now. He was getting confused. I remember that day. No, Wesley, the thing is, I do it on purpose. When I tell you guys stories about my exes, I don't mention their names. I give them little nicknames, or I don't tell you when or how old I was. Like, I just kind of make it kind of fuzzy and blurry, so you can't keep up on purpose. That's very much intended.
That's cute.
Yes. Yeah.
That's cute, Brandy.
But if they come here too often and they stay around like Wesley does, then he starts putting the pieces together and going, wait a minute. So that's about 6 guys you've already mentioned, Brittany. And I'm like, yeah, not my fault.
So we don't know how many secrets she's keeping.
I don't keep secrets. I forget them. If I haven't told you guys by now, I probably just forgot it.
Yeah.
So would you like to share us one of your loser rich ex, please?
Rich loser X.
Rick Luder.
Ex.
That would be the 3-month stand that I got trapped with during COVID.
3 months?
So after I had a bad relationship with I used to be rich loser who was super poor, and I kicked him to the curb after like 6 months, and then I moved up, and I was working in Guangzhou and living in another city, and on the weekends when I would go to Guangzhou, I would get a hotel room, and I'm like, well, let's not waste this hotel room. Let's go out on some dates, see if we can bring any of them back. So I met one guy, and I was like, I will only swipe on rich guys. So if you're standing in front of a car, if you're sitting behind an office desk, like a business, like if you're on a boat, like Randy's swiping right. I don't care how old you are. We're going for rich old dude now. So I'm swiping, and I find a guy that's mildly attractive playing golf. I'm like, all right. If you play golf in China, you gotta have some money. That's a rich man's hobby. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turns out he's not